We're going to see how that feels.
Impressive. Normally, challengers don't survive those.
Aiming springs with a boss, level 82. That is the perfect place to test it.
Kill them all.
Oh yeah,
Yay.
poison, lightning, and fire. I'll be fine.
Kill them all is such a good mission.
You said to beeline to local knowledge? No, I just said that that's a priority notable. If you definitely want map sustain on your atlas before you focus on notables. Because you're gonna struggle with map drops. So like you want these 5 are ideal because these have chance to rank up your maps when they drop. This one gives quantity of waystones found in maps. That's very good. If you struggle with alchemies, this one gives you 100% increased rarity of waystones. This one also gives you 20% chances to be higher. So like, you want to focus on map sustain before you focus on juicing your maps.
I'm so glad I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
Always strikes twice.
Local knowledge is very good, but if you don't have maps to run, you're not going to be able to local your knowledge, you know what I mean?
The rituals require blood.
The ritual. Blood.
Bunch of gold back. I could go fight him because he's in the Sun Temple, and I have not run a Sun Temple yet. I have a few on the map, but I avoided it because I don't ever want to run that map. This is booty.
Is it actually like his zone usually is?
Yeah, it's the I believe the map version of it though is only 2 floors instead of 3, but still like.
Isn't the campaign one?
No, thank you.
I mean 2 and then the one you
3.
fight him on.
Yeah.
So it's just
Maybe,
1
I don't
floor
know.
and then boss.
No, I think you still go through 2 floors. Because you gotta go through both doors. I don't know.
You done now? Oh, that's the lightning room.
Will I get to the boss before the delirium ends?
Da 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 da. Whoop. What? -1 level from corruption. 20% quality bone storm with 4 slots.
Oh, that is a devastating delirium boss effect. Okay.
What do you do?
We just got some
Almost
We
there.
just got some volatile plants and jagged swells that are gonna occasionally erupt the ground underneath me. Potentially one shot in my ass.
Kaba.
It's against you.
Give me all of your soul cores. Who's this one? Wow, we are just always going to end with Owl, aren't we?
God damn it, it's so... What is that fight, man?
It's quite nice.
The bosses should not be able to have slow tracking explosive shit. Rares, fine. Tiny arena bosses, get that shit out of my video game. I'm sorry.
The like
I'll
slow
say it.
moving
I'll be the
orbs.
one to say it.
Strength after all.
The tracking purple chaos balls, the volatile crags, the volatile, like anything that's like the lightning mirages. It's basically like, hey, if your build ever has to stand still for 2 seconds to do damage, you cannot do this fight.
I don't think you're supposed to be up here, Frogman.
God, it's just
This
like,
isn't the arena.
what was that? What was that boss? Like, what is the like? GGG's 10-year balance philosophy: kill them in a half second, or good luck, bud. Well, Arbiter is the hardest boss we've ever made, but everybody who's fought him has killed him in the third of a second. Oh, I can't wait for people to fight our freaking endgame boss. It's the hardest thing we've ever made, the hardest content we've ever made. Problem is, by the time you get to fight these bosses, you're level 90 billion and you've overgrinded because they're so impossible to access that you're overpowered and they die in a half second.
Uh-oh. Ooh. Almost enabled.
Upset.
Who is still... No, nobody's still alive. Huh? Oh, there's another area to go to. Oh my god, that is dangerous. We done now?
Well, the worst part about all of it was, after I died when the delirium ended, it still only dropped me like 4 oils and 2 splinters because that's how rewarding it is. They're coming back from vacation in just under a week. Under a week.
It's
Oh,
already
it's gotta survive.
2025.
It's got to survive. Like, I get it. The delay really hit them hard because, like, they launched right before the holidays, but it is the most inconvenient timing ever to launch an early access product, patch it for like 6 days, and then disappear for 3 weeks. Like, they are going to come back to like 7 notepads full of holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I genuinely hope that they do, that Jonathan does another round of, like, another tour of interviews to, like, follow up with people on, like, what the reception has been, because the reception has been good, but good lord, does it feel rough in some aspects. I would just like a developer who's developed a video game such as this, like an ARPG or something like this. I would like a developer outside of just like some political bullshit answer. I want a developer to finally answer me why they have effects like that in the game. Because it's definitely not for fun. Anybody who says, oh, because it's fun, it's challenging, they're lying to you. It's the same with the Detonate Dead stuff. Like, corpse explosions in ARPGs have been long hated by players, more so than even traps. Like, I think if people were like, if you think people are mad about like PoE 1 lab, like saw blades and spike traps and stuff like that, and like Diablo 2 players hating traps in like the maggot layer and whatnot, there are even more people mad about like detonating or corpse explosions in ARPGs. But I would love a developer to be like, well, the reason we keep putting them in the game is because, etc. I want an honest answer.
They like when they see clips of streamers dying and raging.
Easy. Put reflect on the maps. Get rid of bodies exploding. Put reflect back on the maps.
Not many make it this far.
Reflect you can plan around. An off-screen dumpster fire of bodies is not... You cannot build or plan around it.
Grow stiff and resilient.
I will argue that there are some reflect mobs that you can't really plan around unless you hover over everything, but that's a whole other discussion.
Against this magnificent beast.
Also, you know, I refuse to feel bad because those people are rangers and they deserve to get their character die.
How dare he say that?
It's gonna be really funny when I make my ranger and people are gonna be like, I thought you hated rangers, and think that I'm actually serious about like this classism.
You gotta wait for the Mount Rider. whatever it's gonna be.
No, I'll make a Deadeye at some point. I love Rangers, but I like off-class Rangers. I like using Ranger skills, which is a PoE 1 thing. I like using Ranger skills on non-Rangers. I like making a Hierophant Bowman, like a crit ice shot Bowman. I like doing explosive arrow on a champ or a gladiator. Like, I like the bow skills. I like archery, but ever since Pathfinder got reworked and became broken, and Deadeye has existed and has been broken, like even Raider, before even the rework and everything, like Raider is still kind of not so but so if you do it the right way. Their kit is just insane compared to a lot of other people. Mostly because it's free. It's just free, whereas like, I don't know. I feel like Trickster's in that same boat too. Trickster, the difference between Trickster though is Trickster requires a lot of knowledge. It requires PoE 1 knowledge to make them good, but their kit is insanely good. It's just people don't realize it without knowing how mechanics work. Ranger's just like, lol, I shoot lightning bolt. If you know how to press the left mouse button, you're gonna win the game. Warrior can't do that. Righteous Fire can't do that, because you gotta know how to build a Righteous Fire character. Again, it comes down to like learning the crafting and learning the mechanics. PoE 2, kind of the same way. This is why I think it's funny when people are like Warriors suck. Warriors are definitely behind the 8 ball, but they don't suck. If you know what you're doing, you can make a killer warrior in this still.
And Path of Exile
People
too?
just want, you know,
yeah.
yeah. People just expected like, oh, you know, melee was supposed to be the savior of melee. PoE 2 was supposed to bring back melee, and I'm like, I mean, melee's still there. It's just, you know,
The main thing I've seen there that I agree with is far and away the outliers from melee, quote-unquote melee builds aren't true melee builds. Like, the most true melee build is actually going, like, monk smack things with your staff. Most of the endgame warrior builds are, like, Warcry, or they're Sunder. Like, there aren't a huge amount of, I want to swing big heavy axe at enemies.
oh, axes aren't in the game yet.
Well, right, but...
Oh, just when they come in.
I've just seen a lot of people going,
mean,
like, GGG fixed melee by making melee ranged.
You're making a fool of me.
Well, they fixed melee by adding monk. And I would even argue kind of back against that, one of the strongest builds in the game is a big swingy hammer build, and it's just disappointing that it's using like the basic attack of the warrior. The fact that their basic mace strike outscales most of their actual abilities is kind of the problem. It's a balancing issue.
What's the top build that uses pure melee?
Mace strike.
Pure mace strike. There's a mace strike warrior build going around right now?
Oh,
I literally have
mace
not
strike
seen...
block stacking Svalin, like...
Huh. I mean, that's just on me for not being in tune with warrior builds, but I had no idea that it was like one of the top warrior builds. Most of the warrior builds I've seen have been like armor break Sunder stuff or big stagger Titan. And then of course the Warcry, Steel Mage's Warcry boy.
Well, I mean, like Stampede and like Tremors and Aftershocks and stuff are still up there in like the upper echelon. And then there's, you know, whatever the hell Hellkaiser's doing. His is arguably the best warrior build from a straight warrior perspective. And every time somebody's like, melee sucks, I'm just like, just go watch Hulk for like 20 minutes. And just like, if you build the character right, the tools, the sandbox is there. It's like the tools are there. People just don't want to. I feel like a lot of ARPG people want their build to kind of just be simple and handed to them. They want to click on a notable on the tree, and it just instantly makes them like better, and like a lot of it is like that. But like if you want your, like, my build took a lot of freaking spreadsheet freaking theory crafting with numbers and where to go on the tree and how to do this and how to do that. My Stormweaver, that's a different story. That was my first character. I was just clicking on stuff and hoping it worked. And it did work until I broke it. But like, it's like, I don't know. I feel like most of the people complaining about PoE 2's build variety, and like, I'm not gonna say there is build variety problems. There's massive build variety problems, but it's also, we have a third of the entire content. But like, it's not as bad as Reddit wants it to be. I don't
even know if I agree that there's
you're good.
a build diversity problem. I think the main reason there might be a build diversity problem is just the influx of new players that don't want to think for themselves. There are so many people that come up with new builds all the time that aren't like the go-to.
There is definitely a build diversity problem just because of certain mechanics of how PoE 2 is currently working. Now,
do you mean like
that is also to
like for the core of a build, or you just mean like energy shield strong? Too many people are running energy shield.
Just the build itself, the core of the build, like skill use. We don't have a ton of skills in the game. We have about a fifth of the supports we're gonna end up having. We have a third of the characters we're gonna end up having, and there's clearly balancing problems. If you're not spending money, Blood Mage scaling just doesn't exist, so you have to spend money to like pretty much, or get lucky crafting to make it work as good as it can be. It's not impossible, but it's not as easy as just start Monk, start Ranger, you know, stat stack. Like the balance of build diversity is not where people want it to be, considering it's a Path of Exile game. Because when people think of Path of Exile 1, yes, there's the top 10 meta builds of every league, but then underneath that, there's like 7,000 other viable builds that no one's paying attention to because they're not the top.
Mm-hmm.
PoE 2 so far is like, okay, we don't have PoB, so we have to think for ourselves. And so we're not going to think for ourselves, so we're going to watch someone think for us. We're just going to do what they do. Unfortunately, even with PoB right now, I think PoB right now, and PoB is like 2 weeks away, I think local said, but even PoB right now, I think would just showcase even more so the build diversity problems, because I think the way the tree is currently designed with the classes we have and the skills we have, there are some skills that just don't have access to the things they need yet in the game, and there are some classes, Blood Mage, Witch Hunter, that like, can you get to that top level if you invest enough? Yes, because it's an ARPG. You could do an unclassed character. Like, you could just choose to not do your ascendancy and basic attack with the right investment and you'd be fine. An ARPG, and that's just how numbers work. But the investment is where people are, what people worry about. Is like, do I want to, with literally kind of a lack of crafting at all, do we want to invest so much to make a build work? Or do we just want to like take a build archetype and swap out a few Lego pieces? Like, my build is a version, is my own version of what Mathel did. He went pure lightning, and I said, well, hey, there's this nice little herald node over on the right side of the tree. What if I do Trinity? And I just decided to do Trinity, and it worked. There's also like build diversity problems from the perspective of, unlike PoE 1, your skills are tied to the weapon type. That is not a PoE 1 thing. You can be a warrior, you can be a juggernaut that's casting kinetic bolt. Like, it, you know, you can do that. Can you do that in this? Yes, but then again, the way that the trees and the skills are designed, PoE 2 seems to be, in its current form, very archetypal. The tree positioning, even so much as so as like the witch and sorceress tree changing depending on which one you choose, which is already harmful for builds. And I hope they change that. I hope they let you toggle that, because that's like just detrimental to the like what PoE stands for, and letting the player, you know, dictate what they want out of their choices. Like, you should be able to start as a sorceress and have minion nodes at the start. You should be able to start as a witch and have the spell damage nodes at the start. You should have those accesses. But the fact that, like, it's taken away from you, it's taken out of your hands, it feels like you're forced down a pathway a little bit.
Which is kind of funny, because I think they did the differences in an effort to improve diversity between the starting points.
Yes.
But
they wanted to make... Yeah. They went a little bit crazy with this whole... As much as I think in the long term it's going to benefit the game, but in the short term it's going to be very weird. They went a little bit overboard with this whole we're going to have 36 ascendancies stuff, because I don't know if they've planned the tree for 36 ascendancies, or if they just said we want every class to have 3 and we'll figure the tree out later. Because right now it feels like we're going to figure the tree out later.
Yeah.
Because there are some parts of the tree that are extremely weak spots, and then there are some parts of the tree that are like, everybody wants to go to this little section. No matter what you're playing, you want to go here. So, we'll see, but I expect to see Huntress and Druid probably sometime in January or mid-February, somewhere in the next 6 weeks maybe. And if that is the case, we'll hope that things get shaken up a little bit, because they're gonna need to put the nose to the grindstone if they want to keep the timetable that they were hoping for. Because they were like at most a year, but it could go longer, and like at that rate, I think somebody mapped it out to be like 2.5 classes a month to make that deadline. Not to mention ironing out the campaign and the end game, and potentially adding the new content and the third ascendancy trial balance changes. Because it's all going to have to happen during early access, because you're not balancing the start of the game in Standard League. That's a disaster. They are doing themselves a huge favor by making this league not matter. This early access realm not matter. That is going to be very good in the long run.
Almost there. Keep it up, mortal.
One of their smartest decisions that they've made, for sure.
It weighs you down.
We will just literally always get Owl End. Okay, well. Thank God for currency exchange. This is, I think, my 6th ultimatum in a row.
A bird will do anything to feed its young.
I mean, on average, you could, I don't know. Depending on how fast you're getting through it, that could be an acceptable rate. If you get Owl every time of like exalts per like minute or whatever. You're thinking in trade terms. I don't know how people word it, but
I don't even.
They'll stand at a div per hour.
I was saying thank God for currency exchange, because I was doing this for my 4th ascendancy. And then if I had been trying to do this solo self-found for my 4th ascendancy and gotten birds 6 times in a row, I probably would have given up and gone back to Sanctum.
Lightning strikes at your
Why
heart.
sometimes the tower glow and click, and why sometimes the tower no glow and click?
Slay them all.
I will slay them all, Trial Master.
I can take you.
You did your first 10 tier 1 maps and got your first 2 points. There you go. Hell yeah. Welcome to the quote-unquote end game.
Where am I going? Sure, back this way. That's a fine belt. But it's dropped corrupted, even though it's a normal belt.
That's a fine belt. Sulfuric Caverns. Delirium. And boss. Sulfuric Caverns, a Mushroom Lord, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
I think it's so.
can I remember? Is it Mushroom Lord or is this the one? Is Sulfuric Caverns the one that's Mammoth?
Oh. No, I think is Decay Mammoth?
A is definitely Mushroom Lord.
Okay, so then Decay is Mushroom Lord and that one's Mammoth. Because yeah, I do get those two very much confused.
A challenger, worthy of
Very
praise.
difficult when they appear on multiple maps because I know I know for sure Mushroom Lord is Seepage,
Moves against you.
Oh, Seepage. Which one's Decay?
but he's also on Decay.
Oh, okay.
The rituals require blood.
Rituals require blood. Ooh.
Banana. Did I ever ask you if you played DK64 or do you just know the memes?
I have played DK64 and I have also played a lot of the like old Donkey Kong ones. He hit me. Namely like the Donkey Kong Country series.
Very good.
DK64 I
Good
don't
series.
think I ever completed. And part of that is
yeah.
because all of my friends were like, oh my goodness, we can shoot each other with coconut guns.
Ah, yes, the classic DK64 multiplayer. It was just the worst GoldenEye, but we loved it. I mostly asked because the Ooh Banana is very specifically a DK64, and then Okay is also very, very specifically a DK64, but
They
has been
Also put
utilized
that
in other.
Mario Kart and Mario Party, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's soundbite as after DK64 became royalty. Okay. And then Ooh Banana was just the most legend. God, I love Grant Kirkhope. it's the man's a gem.
Took you long.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in the day when he was doing most of the
Yet chase after.
pretty much any of his rare stuff. I would have been happy to be a fly on the wall.
Prove your might against this magnificent beast.
We're finally here, performing for you.
If you know the words, you can
That
join
would only
in
slow
too.
me down.
Put your hands together if you wanna clap.
As we take you through this monkey rap. Okay.
Donkey Kong.
Wonderful, wonderful piece of history. Trial reward.
Whoa! What even was that bad guy?
Bagay?
Bad guy. He was like casts sigils of power, like lightning explosions, proximal tangibility, and then shock nova after death. Like what the heck? That guy was a spicy little essence. For only 3 little like lesser essences too. What the heck? How dare?
Those are all absolutely
It's
disgusting.
totally Mammoth Lord.
You did it.
Totally Mammoth Lord.
Totally Mammoth Lord. I think I'm gonna pause on the ultimatums. In fact, maybe I should call it. I don't want to stream too late because I have work tomorrow. And I also streamed for almost 10 hours on Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday. When did I stream for almost 10 hours?
Yesterday?
Sunday. Yesterday I streamed for a while.
Sunday.
Not for that long. We got a precursor tablet, but it's bad.
The blue filter am I using? Just the basic NeverSync one, the one that he's been kind of like ramshackling together until he gets the official NeverSync up, or the filter blade up and running, which will be in about a week, he said. Week and a half, 2 weeks. He's hoping to have filter blade back up and running. Go to NeverSync's Twitter, and it should be one of his top posts, if not his pinned message at the moment. But it's just, yeah, it's the NeverSync filter. There's also, because you'll want to download the most recent one because he keeps updating it.
Hey.
It doesn't hide. I mean, I have it hiding extra stuff, but that's also because I. Let me see. Can I go to? There's the GitHub, and you'll want to download the most recent one, which is 2.2. I've updated mine a couple of times in the text file and have it doing a couple of other different things. You don't have to do anything for it. It'll hide low-level items and things that you don't need, and it'll bing-bong the things that you do want to pick up. Mostly.
Yeah. Tell my deadly fates. Give me 54 exalted orbs.
How can I help?
I'm gonna do this tower, and then I'm also gonna go get some food and probably call it.
Why does this say order completed? Why did I get one of my deadly fates back? What just happened?
Hey.
You probably didn't sell the last one.
Oh, yeah, somebody...
Price probably changed.
Yeah.
So the average price probably changed.
No, I think somebody paid... Yeah, somebody paid more and then didn't have, like, the exalt left on the thing wasn't what it was worth. I don't know. I probably lost, like, 3 exalts there. Oh, no. I'm up to 87. 2 whole orbs of alchemy! But that did give me 16 Vol orbs. It feels like Vol orbs drop pretty frequently in Ultimatum. I don't know if they actually have a higher drop chance or if I just got lucky. Now I just need to figure out where to drop jewels. Do I just need to go back to that place in Act 2? Because jewel...
Like jewels?
Yeah.
They drop in Sanctum.
Outside of the... Do they drop more commonly outside of just the chests? The loot chests?
Yeah. Drop from the enemies in there. If you open the chests that are in there, they drop the jewels. You can also, I mean, local knowledge.
Oh yeah,
There's the
I have
increased
local
jewels from
knowledge.
forest areas.
Forest areas, that's what it is. Either way, I should probably call it. We're halfway to level 91. Build is still solid because of course it is, nothing has changed. Our crab legs are crab legs.
I tablet the tower, hopefully Citadel.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Look
you
like
said
a
you're
Citadel.
jumping off too then, right?
Oh, hey, I'm gonna be getting food and laying down because I have 6 hours and it's I'm a sleepy. I'm
Okay.
a sleepy.
That sounds good. I don't think... Yeah, there's nobody else on then. Okay, I'm gonna jump out. Good talking to you, Penta. Have a good rest of your night and dinner.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, chat. Thank you guys for hanging out. Was a ton of fun. We'll probably do more stuff with the Wholesome Verse on Wednesdays when I have the time to. Depends on... It is one of the only days that I have off with both Kurz and Mizu, assuming we want to do Minecraft, although that can also be done on Tuesdays. I might shift some things around just so we can do that more often. Either way, thank you guys again. Have a great rest of your night. Welcome to 2025, if you haven't been wished that already. And I will see you guys on Friday next. Not sure what we're playing. Could be more of this. We might check out the new Zomboid build. I didn't even realize that was up. Who knows? We got to do some web fishing. We got to do some Path of Exile. Either way, if you haven't already, feel free to drop a follow to know when we go live next, or just whenever I end up deciding to stream randomly. We've also got the... Oh, what? Ooh. Let's do this trade very quickly. That's a div. Is he going to come to me is the question. Oh, he did. Sales. Oops. Those are very solid boots. Is he going to put his div in? Huh? Oh. Cool. Thanks, friend. I guess. Well, we got you baited. We'll put it back up. I wonder if he thought it was like 1x or something. No, he definitely didn't. He could have been trying to scam me, but let's not trust in the evil of people. Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by ignorance. Either way, have a great rest of your night, everybody. I will see you guys on Friday.